fire, Tron.
That's the spirit.
I strive to be a man of God, but life ain't been easy. It's hard to get rest when Satan trying to deceive me. Still gotta do my best whether or not they believe me. I leave it in his hands, I know he see how they treat me. I keep my faith in him cause people lie and be different. They will say whatever, but their spirit ain't disciplined. They will tear you down in the spirit of hypocrite. Still gotta hold your crown and forgive them for ignorance. They lack in understanding, plus the fact I'm compassionate. To some with no discernment, they may see clear advantages, but it's some people purpose to cause others some damages. If you encounter a serpent, you be still, let them handle it. I strive to be a man of God, strive to protect and to provide. I pray I always be around. Sometimes this world can get you down. I strive to be a man of God, honor my father and my mom, and I pray they always be around. I hope to never let them down. I strive to be a man of God. That's why I be in them verses, avoiding them curses, avoiding the hair bust, avoiding them hearses, avoiding that lead bust. Focus on my purpose. He say he gon' bless us. Creation said let us, and yeah, and I'm cashing that. Where is your passion at? A fear I ain't having that. Catch me on my acrobat. If I ain't flipped it, I'm taxing that. You ain't got to imagine that. Just get you an action plan. Just make you some prayer time. Investment that pays with time. Repentance can save your life. That sentence can save your life. Y'all play games, I'm play with mines. Y'all play games, don't play with it. Correction, my favorite. Mustard seed, I stay with it. Bet I made, I lay in it.
I lay in it, and I pray inside my head.
I strive to be a man of God, strive to protect and to provide. I pray I always be around. Sometimes this world can get you down. I strive to be a man of God, honor my father and my mom, and I pray they always be around. I hope to never let them down. I strive to be a man of God.
All right. We are here. I see a couple viewers on different platforms. Got this on YouTube and I got this on Instagram for the day. So here we go. Day 3 is going to kick in. Didn't do the live this morning. Had system issues that got taken care of. As you can see, we're live now. But it's my opinion, it's a blessing in disguise because I have had and responded to a couple emails from some of the participants about the nightly protocol and what we should be doing in the evening to have a better experience or try to manage the cravings a little bit better and the discomfort of the detox. So we'll start there. It's not going to be a completely comfortable experience when you are fasting from things in life in general. This may be just a food fast for health reasons, but this is really an exercise in discipline. This is really an exercise in focus. This is really an exercise in the ability to do what's necessary and what's best for yourself at this time in your life. This morning, we should have went through liquids between 12, until 12 o'clock. We should have done the liquids like we normally have been doing every morning. We should have shifted into the fruits until 2 o'clock like we have done day to day. We should have shifted into green foods until 4 o'clock after the fruits like we have done day by day. And then we should have shifted into our vegetables and grains, or rotating the grains like we have done. and then it ends. Then it's like, okay, for those of you who are night birds, night owls that stay up pretty late, I could understand hunger kicking in and you feel like I can't really deal with it or I can't really sleep with these feelings of hunger. I'm tossing and turning and whatnot. How a couple of people have expressed, it's a bit frustrating and uncomfortable, but that is what it's all about. That's where the discipline comes in. That's where you have to talk to yourself, talk yourself into something that's good for you, the same way you would talk to your child into something that's good for them. There's an inner child within us all. There is a inner voice within us all that seems to be completely opposite of what we're trying to accomplish in life. And we need to get that inner voice under control. That inner voice that seems to always give you self-destructive ideas and encourage self-destructive ways and behaviors within us has to be controlled. This is part of the fast, learning how to control these emotions that are led and guided by food intake. The things that we eat should not have so much control over us. you know um some people that I even know have gone decades, their whole life, half a century, and never have fasted even once. Never have removed food for one day just to give the digestive system a 1 day break. A lot of people I know have never done it. I do know a group of people who have. I'm in the health industry. I know a lot of healthy people healthier than me, people not as healthy as me. This is a journey. This is a journey. This is not an overnight thing. There's no magic pill that I can give you that's going to turn your entire life around. There's no miracle guidance. There's no teleport or portal that you could go into and then you completely redesign yourself. It's going to take work. It's always going to take effort. So, things that you can do this evening to calm it down. First thing is just go to bed. Go to bed, get you a really good night's sleep. Turn off all the stimulants. Turn off all the blue lights, any computers, TVs, phones. These blue lights activate your brain in a way where it keeps you up. Turn off all the stimulants. Close your eyes. Visualize the better you. Visualize the physique that you want. Visualize the lifestyle that you want to live by. Visualize yourself waking up in the morning in a wonderful attitude, drinking your liquids, drinking your tea, making your juice, taking your supplements. Visualize yourself doing everything with a gratitude type of mind frame. Okay? But try to get some rest. Drink some liquids if you feel like, hey, I just don't feel full enough. Drink some liquids. Tighten up your belt a little bit, so to speak. Drink some liquids. I did express if you did want a small snack, it shouldn't be too late. If you're going to stop eating at 6 o'clock and you're going to have a small snack and you're going to bed maybe about 10, 11 o'clock, try to get that snack in by about 7 o'clock. Try to make sure that it's something natural, some type of fruit, maybe a pulpy fruit, a dates or figs or tamarind or something like that. Not something that's going to take so much time to digest, but something that's going to work in your favor as well. Something that's going to benefit you, something that's going to help you accomplish this task, not something that's going to make you feel bad 10 minutes later and say, damn, I didn't have to do that. I could have avoided that. Oh man, why did I make that mistake? Why did I set myself back a step when I was just up here? I was just there. So That's something that you want to think about. There's something that you want to consider. Give yourself all the reasons why you need to do this. Give yourself all the reasons why you should be disciplined. Give yourself all the reasons why you should be focused. Give yourself all the reasons that you started this program for. Okay? That's what we want to do. Very important. And I want to keep on reiterating that we want to stay away from gluten, breads with yeast in it, breads with starches in it. Stay away from starch in general as well. Rice, beans, potatoes. These things will blow you up like a balloon. These things will constipate you. They will shut down your digestive system. It'll shut down your digestive process. It'll keep you from removing waste from the body. It will suck up and absorb water from your body, dehydrating you. It'll clump up your feces to the point where your poop is getting cooked before it's on the way out, just holding up the entire functioning process of your body. That's where we begin. This is the beginning of healing, comes with removing the chemical substances. Veganism is not just not eating meat. Veganism is not eating things that are not fit for human consumption in general. Chemically based foods as well. We can't even call them foods. They're just things that you process ritualistically, but they're not food. It's just an exercise in processing waste, processing garbage. It's garbage before it comes into your mouth. Don't put things that are garbage into your mouth already. Now you eating garbage to process the garbage. Eat real foods, living foods, you know? Those fruits, those greens, those vegetables are gonna go a long way. Nuts and seeds and grains, you know? Make a conscious effort. Try to include your family. Try to get behind, try to cook if you're not used to cooking all the time, give it a shot. That's how you're gonna get better. You can't do things that you don't do and get better at them without practice. Practice makes perfect. Practice, consistency. That's what we're looking to do. By the way, if anybody has any questions, go ahead and drop questions in the chat. I am monitoring the chat for any questions that may pop up. So feel free to drop any questions in the chat, okay? The end of the day is just as important as the beginning of the day, okay? The end of the day is just as important as the beginning of the day. Let me put that on the screen so you can see what I'm saying here. Oh. Again, the end of the day is just as important as the beginning of the day. All right. So we need to wake up determined. We need to go to bed determined. The end of the day is just as important as the beginning of the day. If you made a mistake today, if you had a mishap today, if you didn't do things the way that you wanted to do them, if you didn't accomplish what you wanted to accomplish all the way today, don't beat yourself up. Get yourself ready to try it again tomorrow. Minimize the damage, cut things off right now, and get yourself ready to do better tomorrow. If it be the Lord's will that you wake up in the morning, if it be the Lord's will that you make it home and you get up in the morning, then do better tomorrow. Come focused tomorrow. Wake up determined tomorrow. Wake up ready for a day, one of the most important days of your life. You have to put significance in what you are doing for you to give it the proper respect and effort that it deserves so you can get the outcome and the results that you're looking for. You can't lollygog your way through something and expect to have the results that you were hoping for. You have to be locked in. You have to be focused. You can't be distracted. You can't have 8 million voices in your head pulling you 8 million different ways and expect to be focused on the task that you had set for yourself for the day. Okay? At this point, some people, should be feeling not the best. It's not a great feeling when you're detoxing, when your body is removing inflammatory substance. It doesn't make you feel very healthy, because the reason we're doing this detox is because we know we're not as healthy as we should be. The body is hiding all of these illnesses, all of these issues within us, and we're bathing them and pacifying them with sugars and breads and starches and dairies and meats and all of this stuff that we're eating. We're hiding the problem. But we know it's there. We know the problem's there. We know it exists. You can't ignore it. You can't hide your head in the sand. Get on a scale. Give yourself some accountability. Step on a scale. See how much you weigh. Step on the scale tomorrow. See how much you weigh. If it's going in the wrong direction, check yourself. What are you doing wrong? What are you not doing? What are you ignoring? What are you trying to avoid? There should be no reason for us to not lean on each other. And I really appreciate you guys who've been reaching out in the email. You guys have asking me a lot of questions, about the nightly process, about the morning process, about things throughout the day. People are emailing me, say, hey, can I have this? Hey, can I have that? Hey, I'm in the store, and they take a picture of something. Hey, is this okay? Is that okay? And I'm going back and forth with everybody, but the same, and that's good. That's what you need to keep doing. Don't at no point do you say, I'm not going to ask them about this one. I'm going to just go ahead and just eat this one. I don't want to do this, or I don't want to do that. You know, we don't have to do that. We have support. We have a community of support. We have other people who are enrolled into the program. Okay. Everybody, we're all suffering together, so to speak. Okay. So, again, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to pop them in the chat. This is all about getting it together and keeping it together. We already have the regimen. We already have the instructions. We already have the products. We just have to stay motivated, stay disciplined, stay determined. That's what we need to do to finish strong. We're about to hit the mists, or the middle of the program. So let's focus in, let's lock in, let's zone in, and let's accomplish our task. Okay? I have myself a banana just in case I get hungry. I shouldn't be eating it this late, even myself. But if I'm gonna do something wrong, I'm gonna try to minimize the damage. I'm usually a late owl myself. I usually don't lay down until about 12, 1 o'clock. So if I eat a banana a few minutes, I'm still giving myself 4 hours of digestion, 4 hours of processing time. So I'm not going to sleep with a banana fiber in my chest. Okay. Shout out to everybody on YouTube. Shout out to everybody that's checking us out on the Natural Branches Facebook page. We are going to start streaming also on X. So if you guys haven't added us on X or on Twitter, formerly known as Twitter, please add us there. We've been there for a few years, but it's just not so active. But I found a way to intertwine our programs together. So for when we're doing something like this, we can stream on X as well. It would be better if I had some questions and comments. That way I can kind of feed off of you guys. But that's not the case. But if anybody does have anything that you want to email me about, maybe you don't want to ask the question here, feel free to email me at franco@thenaturalbranches.com. So I can answer your questions, any product questions, any regimen or dietary questions, any questions about the products that we carry in our store, or just any advice in general on the direction that you have available to yourself that maybe you don't understand, or maybe that you don't know, that or can't capitalize on what you don't know. So ask the question, reach out to me, and I will get back to you in a reasonable amount of time and answer your questions. Okay. Tomorrow is still very important. How we start the day is still very important. A good start to the day is important. And guess what? The end of the day is just as important as the beginning of the day. Okay? We want to keep our we want to keep our motivation high throughout the day. We want to keep our spirit high throughout the day. We want to keep our resolve and our determination high throughout the day. We want to get better and better at shunning bad thoughts. And what I mean by bad thoughts are thoughts that are counterproductive to what you're trying to accomplish at this moment. You shouldn't be thinking about cookies all day long, okay? Shift that thought. Think about fruit. Think about an alternative. Think about something that you could consume during this detox that you can help clean your body out with the food that you're eating and not make matters worse. Okay. Again, some people are going to feel a bit nauseous, uncomfortable, and even a little sick. You might, trigger removal of phlegm and removal of waste, loose stool. You might trigger these things in the process of this fast, and that's okay. Get through that process. Don't abandon the process. That's what detox feels like. It doesn't feel good. Your body is sick inside and it's starting to show because you're trying to clean it out. And the forces that be, the elements that be that are inside of our body that is maintaining these illnesses within our body, they don't want to leave. They're living organisms as well. They don't want to leave, whether it's parasitics, infections, or whether it's a bacteria, or whether it's a viral infection, or whatever may be going on inside of you. It's part of a living unit. It's part of a living being, and you're the main cell. You're what everything inside of you is living off of. Starve the things that are living off of you, and you'll starve those sicknesses out. Yeah, you'll lose some weight. Yeah, it's difficult. Yeah, it's going to be discomfort. Yeah, it's going to be challenging. But that's what we signed up for. That's what we're hoping for, to overcome these things. And it does get easier as we go. It does. You'll start feeling better in a couple of days. You're going to say, hey, man, I'm on day 5. I feel great all of a sudden. But you have to get past the hard part. You have to get past the difficult part. And you guys are. That's why you guys are showing up. That's why you guys are here, because you're putting in the effort. Okay. Once again, one of the most important things that we want to remember is not to consume any gluten during this time, not to consume any starch during this time, and not to consume any dairy at this time. You already have the rules for the grains. Make sure they're not starch grains, they're whole grains, and surround the grains with vegetables so they pass as quickly as possible. Hydrating them ahead of time when you cook them, whether it's wild rice or quinoa or these types of grains, hydrate them ahead of time. That way they absorb good they're well hydrated, so that when you put them in the body, they have something to offer the body. They have some nutritional value to give the body. They're not just going into your body completely dehydrated. Now they're using your body to hydrate. They're taking liquid from your body, and then they're using that hydration just to process, to leave your body. They need that liquid to get through your intestines. So don't look at it, take the proper steps. Take the proper steps to take care of these things, okay? We had a lot of interest. A lot of people have hit us up saying, "Hey, we missed this one. When are you doing another one?" We'll do another one next month. We'll do another one next month for the people who have been hitting me up and for the emails that I'm getting about it, okay? So I'm hoping for some questions in the chat. If not, I have my email on the screen right now. If you guys did want to ask any questions or make any comments that you don't want to do publicly, that's okay. Just go ahead and reach out to us in email about your dietary questions or your product questions or whatnot, and we'll go ahead and try to guide you in the best direction that we understand ourselves. Okay. All right, I do see a question here from Roxana Brito. Can you talk a little bit about the benefits of the digestive cleanse, herbal tea blend, and proper intake? Yes, I absolutely can. It's called the complete digestive cleanse, because the complete digestive cleanse takes care of your complete digestive system. Everything from the kidney to the liver to the gallbladder to the small intestine to the large intestine. It helps cleanse the cells on the way to these organs, and the cells and the matter around these organs and these organs themselves. Okay, you'll what what's ideal is that you take a couple teaspoons every morning and you mix, and you add 32 ounces of water. 2 bottled waters. You pour it in there with a couple tablespoons, couple teaspoons of the tea, and then you steep it. When you steep the tea, you make sure that you're not boiling the tea because you don't want to cook out the leaves and the herbs and the roots. So we're not going to boil it, meaning the water should not be violently moving. We're not going to simmer it either because the water should not be softly moving. We want to steep it. We want to have it warm enough for you can possibly see some steam coming up from the water, but you don't want the water to be moving on its own. And then you come in and then you move it around a little bit to kind of remove some of the properties of the herbs so that they blend with the water and infuse the water. And then throughout the day, you want to consume 24 to 32 ounces of that tea. You can garnish the tea if you want to make it taste better because it doesn't have the best taste in the world. I would, you probably some seeded lemon, to give it a citrusy flavor if you like citrusy flavor. Some seeded key lime would be great too to add some citrusy flavor and more antioxidity and more fat burning properties. If you like the sweet tea a little bit, you can always add like a little coconut sugar or something like that. I would personally add a little bit of agave. I'm not too heavy on agave. You can also add some sea moss to your tea if you would like to add some sea moss to the tea, to infuse the flavor a little bit. We have different fruit flavors, sea mosses and whatnot that you can consume. So, and then you drink that tea throughout the day, and make sure you're hydrating a little bit throughout the day too. So once you drink your tea, you're drinking water in between here and there, you're not uh, taking so much of the tea where if you feel like you're getting dehydrated, hydrate yourself with some water because this tea in particular, it's semi-diuretic. It's going to make you use the washroom. It's meant to flush out your organs. It's going to induce that type of liquid movement in your body. It has a ton of iron fluoride, which is going to pick up your blood flow, which is also going to help iron levels if you're a bit anemic, if your hemoglobin is struggling, if you're struggling with a little bit of energy, that's going to help too. It's not a laxative. It's not going to induce bowel movement to that extent. It's not something where you can't control your bowels, but you are going to want to remove your bowels regularly. And that's normally you want to do that anyways. You don't want to hold your bowels inside of your body longer than you should. If you feel if your body's saying, "Oh, I gotta go," it's time to go. The body has done everything that it did, and you have to finish the process of removing the waste from your system. When you hold your bowels in, that toxic matter that's coming. That's why you're removing the stool in the first place. That's why you're removing the bowels in the first place because you're removing what's the body doesn't need or what's toxic to the body or what the body doesn't use. So if you leave it in the body too long, if I got to use the washroom, but I can't get to it for another 3 hours, I'm just going to hold it. You're holding toxicity in the body and it just becomes more toxic because the environment inside the body is 97.5 degrees or so internally. And it's a liquid body, 76% water or so. So make sure that you're removing your bowels, you're using the washroom, you're staying hydrated so you're not getting dehydrated in the process of drinking tea. And if you're eating the fruits and the greens and the vegetables, you shouldn't be so dehydrated because all of these food groups contain liquid, they contain water, they contain high hydrogen and high oxygenated water. It's called structured water. It's the water that when you get a watermelon, how does the water get into the watermelon? It comes from the soil. The roots of that plant is pulling the water into it to hydrate the plant to grow its fruit. The seeds inside of the fruit are adding the DNA structure to the fruit, the nutritional profile. So if you're eating your fruits and your greens and your vegetables, if you pay attention, all three of these food groups have liquid. You can juice all of them. You juice vegetables, you're going to get vegetable juice. You juice those greens, you're going to get a green juice. You juice those fruits, you're going to get a fruit juice. All of them have liquid. You can't juice rice. Dry rice. It doesn't have liquid for you. Can't juice bread. You just make dough out of it. That's all. You put some water in some bread and it's just going to create dough. So the teas have 8 different, this specific tea, the complete digestive cleanse, has 8 different herbs that all focus specifically on the digestive system and the digestive organs individually. The kidney and the liver, they're getting flushed out. Any type of inflammatory substance that usually calcifies around the liver, it helps break that down. It helps dissolve that. Any calcified structures that develop in or around the kidneys is going to help flush that. It's going to help dissolve that. It's going to help deteriorate that plaque or that calcified substance. Okay? Your gallbladder, your intestines, they shouldn't be all clogged up. They shouldn't be all dried out. You shouldn't be constipated all the time. Your poop shouldn't be all hard and stuck together. It's going to help clean out the walls of your intestines, your small intestine, which is the long one that travels like this and it goes like this, inside of your abdomen. Then you have the large intestine, which is a larger intestine to release the waste. So the complete digestive cleanse addresses all of these organs and the digestive system in general. You should take it until it's done. I would consider taking that until it's done. Just give your body a good detox. Not here and there every couple of days, just you every day, every day. It's like working out every day. If you work out every day, you get there quicker. If you're only working out once a week, twice a week, you're really giving up everything that you're working for. And so, you know, so don't delay, and make sure that you are consuming everything consistently and appropriately at the appropriate times and according to the instructions in the regimen. Okay. Hoping there's another question. Anybody with another question? But that's a great question, Roxana. Thank you for asking that here in the chat. It allows for the dialogue. It allows for information to come out. And for the people who are watching this or going to rewatch this on their time, they get the benefit of this engagement because they get the answer to the question. Okay. All right. I'm just here for a second to try to give, I got some viewers on YouTube and I got a couple of viewers on Facebook. So I'm just trying to give it a second for people to ask any question that they may have. Thank you very much for that. You're absolutely welcome. And educating is the key here. Education is the key. When you know better, that's when you do better. If you have to guess, you can guess right, you can guess wrong. And based on those results, you learn better. Sometimes you learn the hard way because you didn't have the information that you needed initially to avoid learning the hard way. But when you ask questions and you get the answer for it, the hard part has been done for you. People have done this throughout time. They know how to do it, and you don't have to go through the same mistakes that other people have gone through to get the benefit of doing things right. So that's, thank you for that. And by the way, you can make the tea ahead of time. You don't have to drink the tea hot. You don't have to. You can make a gallon of it and then just pour out 24 ounces of it a day and then, make a nice little concoction of it. And then, put it in a little bottle or something and just, pour it out and serve yourself daily where you don't have to go through that regimen every day. I personally like hot tea. I don't like cold tea. And when I drink coffee, I don't like cold coffee. It has to be hot for me. I don't know what it is about that. But that's usually, but you can, to save yourself time, you can make the tea in bulk and put it in the refrigerator and preserve it that way. I wouldn't rewarm it though. If you're gonna make the tea, if you're gonna rewarm it, only rewarm it to your drinking temperature. Don't rewarm it all the way up to steam. You don't want to overcook or recook something, although it does maintain, a lot of its property, that you dilute it every time that you do it. So we want to try to consume it as concentrated as possible. So even the longer you steep it, so if you steep it for a little longer, if you steep in stuff for a little longer, that's going to help you too. That's going to work in your benefit. It's just going to get more concentrated. And again, don't forget that you can garnish it. Throw a little cinnamon powder on there. maybe a little vanilla powder if you wanted to. That's okay. In these natural substances, you can use them. Okay. So, any other questions? I don't want to be drawn out. I know it's on the East Coast. I got somebody on the East Coast. It's already 9:34 over there. A couple people on the West Coast. It's about six something over there. So they're probably still in traffic or running around. And we got some local folks that's probably who's logged in right now, checking us out. We're streaming live on our Facebook, Natural Branches Facebook page, and we also streaming on our Natural Branches uh, YouTube. If you guys can subscribe there, that would be great. How much sea moss should we take per day? From the kit, you should take a full tablespoon, 1 ounce, 1 ounce of the sea moss every morning. That's going to help. It's going to work as a lubricator, and it's going to help add nutritional value. So getting those vitamins in your body to start rebuilding your body for the day and start making you feel more fulfilled. That's going to be great. So we want to take 1 full tablespoon, which should be about an ounce, about 1 ounce of the sea moss. Okay. 1 ounce. You can mix it with the tea if you want. You can take it independently from the tea and drink it. Chase it with something. If you want something, you can just take it like that if you wanted to. I would. It creates mucilage. What happens is when it goes inside the body's warm. It's 97 degrees internally, so it warms it up and it thins out the gel of the sea moss, and it creates this lubricating factor that helps clean the cells and helps flush things out, and it's much easier to absorb in the cells, so the cells can retain that nutritional value, break down the compounds of it, and move into the bloodstream, everything that needs to be moved into the bloodstream so that your body can utilize it. That's the plate. Once you get it in the blood, it's gonna utilized at that point. So that's the idea behind that. Taking a full tablespoon every morning, and the reason we will suggest 2 tablespoons of sea moss, but because the tea and the capsules also have nutritional value, even though they're cleaners. They also, contain iron fluoride, and different properties, antioxidants and things like that that are going to help you out, and different mineral based too that they're going to help you out. So we don't want to overdo it with too much sea moss, capsules, and tea. Everything is broken down how it should be. You're taking the water initially in the day, and then you're shifting over into your teas and your sea moss and whatnot. And then you want to shift over into your electrolytes like coconut water or fresh juice or something like that. And then you shift over from there. You should be hydrated. You shouldn't be starving at that point either. You should be shifting over into your fruits and greens and vegetables throughout the day, and try to have some consistency in your eating. You don't want to, let's say you eat a couple fruits at 12 o'clock and then you skip 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock, and then you want to do the rest of the fruits, the greens, and the vegetables all at the same time. Try to avoid that. Try to eat in that 6 hour span so the body is breaking things down as it goes. And then when it stops processing, it shuts down because there's nothing left to process. Now your digestive system and your digestive organs can get an actual break. They can actually rest. Okay. So I hope I answered that question for you. If there's anybody else that has another question, that would be great. That way the watchers and the viewers can benefit from our engagement. Thank you for the question. That's a very good question, Wandy. Thank you for participating once again. Appreciate your support and your dedication to your own health and your dedication to yourself, because that's what it takes. Never being too far off, in the mind of neglecting yourself. You don't want to neglect your needs and your health needs and your health wants. Okay. So that is why it is important and a benefit. Can we continue to drink the tea and coconut water throughout the day, or should we limit it to the morning? You can continue to drink the tea and the coconut water throughout the day. You should not be drinking more tea than anything though. You can finish up the tea. You don't want to drink more than 32 ounces throughout the entire day. And if you're going to be drinking 16 to 24 ounces during the day, then it should be like a little half a cup here, a little half a cup there. And if your body is craving it, then yeah, give it to it. Give your body what it's looking for. If your body says, no, I really can use some of that tea right now, give it the tea. Your body knows what it wants. Coconut water, on the other hand, you can probably drink that more fluidly throughout the day and a little bit more abundantly. I like to drink maybe about 64 ounces at least of coconut water. I get, you know how this is right here? About this much coconut water is what I like to drink throughout the day. This is spring water. This is again another water that I drink. They usually have these two for $4 at 7-Eleven. This is an Icelandic spring water, natural alkalinity of 8.88. Natural alkalinity of 8.88. So yeah, you can drink that. A lot of people even go on juice cleanses and stuff. So, drinking coconut water is gonna give your body a lot of energy overall. It's gonna give your body iron. It's gonna give especially coconut water has a good amount of iron overall to it. It's going to give your body hydrogen. It's going to give your body oxygen. It's going to electrify your body. It's going to make you feel active. Just don't overfill your stomach with food, and especially during the detox foods you're not supposed to be eating whatsoever. Okay. Thank you. That is a great question too. That is a great question, Wandi, for the people who are wondering the same things that you guys are wondering, you gals are wondering. So thank you for that question. It allows for engagement for the people who are reviewing this after the fact. They're live on the different platforms. They get to see, they get the benefit of this engagement because they retain the information. So that was wonderful. I appreciate that. I don't want to stay too drawn out. If there are not more questions, I want you guys to get some rest. I want you guys to get to, really, I want you guys to get some rest so you can wake up in the morning with an appetite. So you can start hydrating yourself right away in the morning. So you can settle that appetite, and then go into your daily regiment. Let me go ahead. I will overview the regiment real quick for those who are here. If anybody needed it to check it out again, we're doing liquids until 12 o'clock. Three types of liquids, which is water, antioxidants, and electrolytes. So antioxidants meaning teas and herbs and the capsules and stuff like that. With the liquids, when you put them all together, that's what you get. And then electrolytes like coconut water or some fresh squeezed juices or some 100% pure organic juices. The Lakeland does have a good brand of it, and they also put it in glass bottles, which is much healthy for us overall. Then we're going to shift. Once those liquids are done, we'll shift until 2 o'clock, fruits until 2 o'clock. It's going to focus on melons and berries because the melons are the most hydrating and the berries are the most cleansing. So you're going to add water and cleaning properties basically to the body when you do this. And it's also going to add electrolytes to start building your nutritional profile for the day. Then we're going to shift into green foods from 4 p.m. From 2 to 4 p.m., which are going to include raw greens, raw salads, and things of that nature. And it's also, you can also include cooked greens, like, the heavier greens and the more sturdy greens like turnip greens or mustard greens or kale greens or collard greens or cabbage or something like that. And, I said in one of the live sessions, don't neglect the pot liquor. Don't neglect the liquid, the residue of the liquid that's left out. Create a soup out of that. Throw some mushrooms in that, make a soup out of that, leave some of those greens in there, and drink all of that soup up as well. Don't just consume the green fibers, the green leaves, but try to drink that. We call it pot liquor, but try to drink the broth, the vegetable broth as well. And then we have vegetables till 6 o'clock with rotating whole grains. So you don't have to eat whole grains every day. We know we do recommend plenty avocado, plenty mushrooms during this 4 to 6 o'clock time. Bit more fulfilling fibers, things that you can chew and make you feel like you're more fulfilled. Including the grains. That's going to be helpful for you. Whole grains only. For and giving consistent examples like wild rice and quinoa, garbanzo beans and spelt berries, kamut berries, and stuff like that. If you when you do eat grains, make sure you eat the grains with vegetables so they can pass through quickly. You don't want grains sitting in the body for too long because they process slower than fruits, greens, and vegetables because they don't have a lot of liquid to give the body. You have to hydrate those and then try to, extract that what you hydrated them and how you hydrate them, then you extract that from them. Versus like fruit, you don't have to hydrate the fruit. The fruit already has the water and is ready to release the water into your body, which is what we live off of. This is what our bloodstream lives off of. Our bloodstream is liquid. Our bloodstream doesn't have pieces of bread and french fries in there feeding each organ. Our body removes the fiber. Our body's not interested in keeping the fiber. Our bodies are what they are because of hydration. And if you're not eating right, then your body has blown up or has gotten bigger because you have inflammatory substance that doesn't know how to leave the body, which is considered stored fat. Stored fat. If you are gonna, for the meat eaters, if you feel like you can't do this detox without eating meat, don't forget the rules of the meat. Don't forget the rules of the meat. It's gonna be no pork, no pork whatsoever, no shellfish whatsoever. Okay. All your foods should be clean meats. They should be cooked well, hopefully at home, to minimize any additives or preservatives or fake salts and stuff like that are put in the foods. And also, you're going to want, as far as selection, you're going to want to try to stick to the leaner meats. If you are going to eat the meats, that would be like lamb and goat over the beef. Instead of beef, lamb and goat are leaner meats. I would also recommend turkey instead of chicken at this time. And I would also recommend only the fish that swim at the top of the water. Avoid catfish, any type of shellfish like shrimp, crab, octopus, oysters, and any of those so-called delicacies are really trash. That's trash food. It's not meant to be consumed in the human body. It causes a lot of problems. Shellfish and pork, they both cause a lot of problem. Pork will give you a parasitic infection that's going to take forever to try to remove, and shellfish is going to mess with your blood pressure. It's going to mess with your lead levels as far as mercury is consumed, with your heavy metal levels within the body. They contain way too high mercury. They don't contain nutritional value like that. They don't contain vitamin D and omega 3s and all that because those animals sit at the bottom of the ocean. They don't get sunlight, and they eat other fish poop and mercury and the things, heavy metals and things that are there for them to clean up in the ocean. So avoid pork, avoid shellfish, only fish that swim at the very top of the water that have fins and scales. That way you know that they're not full of mercury. That way you know they're not full of toxicities. And their flesh is cleaner because they have fins so that you have water running through them consistently. And then again, turkey over chicken and lamb and goat, the leaner red meats over beef. Beef is very over processed these days as well. Unless you have your own farm and stuff and you know how you're feeding your animals, I would try to avoid that. And then also the way that they kill these animals, you don't really know how they kill these animals. So they're full of all type of hormones and steroids because they release adrenaline into their own bloodstream in their process of dying. When these farmers and butchers kill these animals, they're not killing them in a kosher way. They're not killing them in a way where they're cutting the main artery in their neck so that when they release adrenaline from the fear of death, all of that blood goes out of the body and doesn't reinfuse their bloodstream to try to numb their body up, because when that happens, all of that blood gets stuck inside the tissue of that meat. And now you're eating meat that is full of hormones because that animal released all these type of hormones like adrenaline into its own bloodstream to try to deal with its dying process. The Bible speaks of how to kill an animal cleanly, and that's what it does, and that's why it does that, so that you can understand, and if all the farmers and butchers and all that understood that, our meat would be much better. Our meats would be much healthier. It wouldn't give us so many chemical imbalances and so many mood swings and whatnot. But they don't know better because they don't read the book, and I think we should all read the book. If you guys want to know what is clean and what's not clean to eat, by the way, you can always take a look at Leviticus 11. Leviticus 11 in the Bible, Leviticus 11. That's going to help you. It has a clean and unclean food list, and this is coming from the being that created all things, including all the animals on the earth, and created us. So he knows what's good for us and what's not good for us, what the body can handle and what the body can't handle. So Leviticus 11 will give you a good guideline of what meats are clean and what you should be looking for and things of that nature. Okay. All right, all right. So if you don't have any more questions, I am going to go ahead and log off. I do have some more tasks to get to here this evening. Because my day was thrown off again with a little glitch this morning in our systems, which prevented us from being able to go live. But we are live now, and I'm glad that we got this out of the way. I will see you guys tomorrow at 8 a.m., God willing, at 8 a.m. To get the day started off right. Okay. With that said, if there are any additional questions or concerns or anything that you want to address when it comes to the protocol and the program and whatnot, reach out at franco at thenaturalbranches.com. It's a direct email to me. And then we will go from there. All right. With that, shalom. Thank you, everybody, for popping in. Thank you, everybody, for the confidence that you showed into the program and for entering the program so that we can work this out together. And I look forward to speaking with you guys tomorrow and helping you accomplish this task. You guys should be feeling much better at the end of this detox. You should be feeling much better. So, with that said, peace, peace, and I will talk to you guys mañana, God willing. Peace.